Good morning and welcome to another edition of the Daily Fix. I am your usual host and presenter, Advocate Tulo Hoyani. Just when the memory of Nomi and Lovu was just beginning to fade away, we call Nomi and Lovu. Nomi and Lovu is that serial killer, insurance serial killer, who was handed 6 life sentences just over 2 years ago. Hardly had we forgotten about Nomi and Lovu. Now we get somebody in the form of Agnes Setswanso. Setswanso, by comparison, is in a class of her own. She's in a class of her own because she's also reputed or reported to have killed her own son for an insurance payout. Now let us begin by looking at the charges that Setswanso faces in the High Court in the Northwest. She faces 2 counts of murder and some counts of fraud and 1 count of defeating the ends of justice. But how did it all come about? All credit must go to Keshi Mabunda. Detective Keshi Mabunda broke it again once more for us. This is the policeman who organized this and set in motion a sting operation that ended with the arrest of Nomi and Lovu. So Detective Keshi Mabunda was at it again. He set up a sting operation that was around November 2023 and arrested Agnes Setswanso. Detective Mabunda is a very meticulous investigator. His track record speaks for itself. He told the High Court in Mahikeng that he started first becoming suspicious of a transaction involving one Bonolo Mudiseima. The insurance payout was a total of 3 million rand, and Bonolo was the niece of Agnes. The red flag for Mabunda, when he looked at this particular policy, was that the beneficiary were not the husbands, was not the husband of the deceased, nor the children of the deceased, but the aunt of the deceased, Agnes Setswanso. Now, in insurance law, there's something called an insurable interest. Before you can insure anybody, you must have an interest in insuring that person. In other words, you cannot just be insuring people all over the place just with a view of benefiting from those policies when there are other better placed people who can be beneficiaries of such policies. So that was the first red flag for Keshi Mabunda. Like I've already indicated, the payout was 3 million rand. How did it come about? It is a chilling account. Agnes the Sanso is the very embodiment and personification of evil. The story goes that she bought with yet another niece, she bought a sandwich, and she had been out with this other niece. She bought a sandwich and wanted to have the sandwich wanted to deliver the sandwich to Bonolo at about 1 a.m. after she had been out on errands with this other niece. But when she was told that, and it was very strange, that she wanted to give Bonolo a sandwich at 1 a.m. She was then prevailed upon by Bonolo's mother not to insist on giving Bonolo a sandwich that she had bought for her at 1 a.m. in the morning. The following morning, she pitched up with the same sandwich and gave it to Bonolo, and Bonolo ended up eating that sandwich. Shortly thereafter, Bonolo started getting unwell, according to the husband. She was rushed to hospital, the Bopulong hospital nearby, and when they got to hospital, it would appear that Agnes' son was in the company of the family, and everybody was told to leave the consulting room, but Agnes wanted to remain behind, and this prompted a heated confrontation between the husband of Bonolo and Agnes, because it was just not clear what business he had in the consultation room when everybody had left it. But be that as it may, Bonolo passed away. Nothing could be done for her. She ended up dying. This is the first victim who will form the murder charge in the High Court in the Northwest. Death by poisoning, allegedly because she wanted to be the beneficiary of an insurance policy. But it all goes back to 2015. In 2015, Agnes Santos' husband died under very suspicious circumstances. The family of the husband had always, or all along, suspected that Agnes had something to do with it. But that murder or that killing is probably still under investigation because it is not before the High Court in the Northwest at the present moment. But it is a very suspicious killing because it is reported that when the husband was taken to the mortuary, the husband had some injuries on him, which Agnes wanted to attribute to the poor handling of her husband by the mortuary people, who strongly denied this. So it would appear that this murder spree goes back some 10 long years. In the case of Bonolo, another interesting dimension or development is that the medical doctor who performed the post-mortem on Bonolo recorded as the cause of death as natural causes and is probably complicit in this crime for defeating the ends of justice. because Bonolo did not die of natural causes. This is the story of 50-year-old Agnes, who has, inherited the mantle from Nomi and Luku. The sort of person when you see on TV, she could be your next door neighbor. And she does not look at all like the person, behind all this cruel and callous acts of murder. But like I said in my opener, all credit must go to Detective Keshi Mabunda. This man deserves a higher rank than the one that he currently occupies. When the police in Northwest started suspecting foul play, there was only one person they could turn to, and that was Keshi Mabunda. So the trial returns to the High Court today in Mahiking, and we'll hear more evidence regarding the foul deeds of Agnes Setsanso, this 50-year-old woman who looks like anything but a murderess. Having said that, let me thank you for watching this video. Let me thank you for all the views that I'm seeing. Please give me your views in the comment section. Let me know what you think about Agnes Mabunda. And let me just put up a poser for you. In the light of all this criminality that we are seeing in South Africa, this meditated, cruel acts of murder, isn't it about time perhaps we started considering the death penalty? I know the death penalty was abolished in South Africa in 1995. But looking at things like this, one just wonders whether we should not bring back the death penalty. Anyway, having said that, please have a nice day.